blast from the past is trying to make a comeback. Many people might remember Avirex jackets from the late 90s to early 2000s. They were a staple of hip-hop fashion in the days slightly before the streetwear era began. However, they disappeared just as the worldwide love for street took hold. I was going to do a rise and fall of Avirex and still might depending on how this relaunch works out. But we have to hold off on that for a bit because the guys at Avirex hope to regain the popularity that they had in the past. Can they do it? Well, that remains to be seen. I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com, and before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button for me. Liking and sharing the video is the best way to help us to continue to grow as a channel, and we really need you guys' help to do it. But with that being said, let's jump right in. Wind back the clock 25 years and the world of streetwear looked different. A whole lot different. For starters, luxury and streetwear were two very distinctive aspects of the fashion landscape. And that's actually putting it lightly, to be honest. High fashion looked down on streetwear as an illegitimate fad or something. We've covered the tumultuous past of the two fashion genres in some of our other videos, but suffice to say, they didn't mess with street much at all. And at the time, you really didn't see rappers wearing brands like Balenciaga or Gucci. Most opted to rep brands that represented the culture more, because back then, we were all we had. The New York-based brand started creating military-inspired pieces back in 1975, but the category that came to define the name was Avirex leather jackets. Cut from some of the heaviest and hardest wearing leathers in the game, Avirex leather jackets represented the gold standard of outerwear. But aside from the functional warmth and protection of the leather, it was its bold colorways and signature detailing that caught the eyes of the hip-hop scene. From Nas to Biggie Smalls, anyone who was anyone in the 90s scene proudly owned an Avirex varsity or flight jacket. And with the influence of America's hip-hop behind it, it didn't take long for the style to reach the shores of Europe too. Still referenced regularly in lyrics by grime artists like Skepta and Kano, Avirex is a truly iconic bastion of a bygone era in streetwear. But with that being said, Avirex jackets might not be such a thing of the past after all. Plenty of modern designers have taken influence from the classic looks of Avirex jackets with the stuff that they've been putting out lately. And on the strength of that, Avirex managed to mount a purposeful return last year. 2021 saw the American label release its iconic series. 27 jackets ranging from A1 flight jackets to varsity pieces, all cut from the signature heavyweight leathers that characterized the collection almost 20 years ago. Quote, "This new chapter will appeal to the original Avirex enthusiasts who value the heritage of the brand and to the new generation inspired by Avirex's nostalgia and reflection of today's luxury street culture," end quote, said the brand's president Andrew Berg. But Avirex is not the only 90s brand making a comeback lately. Cross Colors is also being carried in stores again, and last year, Peli Peli re-emerged as well. This fall in Chicago and New York, groups of leather jacket enthusiasts came together to celebrate what they call Peli Peli Day. East Harlem native Miguel Rodriguez organized the event. He's a collector who runs an Instagram account at Peli Peli Leather, which is an archive page dedicated to documenting the history of the American leather jacket label Peli Peli by Mark Buchanan, which is another blast from the past. Side note, let me know in the comment section if you guys would like me to do more videos on the proto streetwear brands like Fubu, Peli Peli, Fat Farm, and all the others that were around just prior to the official formation of streetwear as a fashion genre. But the leather jacket has always been synonymous with cities like New York and hip-hop culture at large. And brands including Peli Peli and Avirex, which were both founded in the 70s, created leather garments that resonated with the culture and became street status symbols hip-hop artists embraced throughout the 90s and the 2000s. But you can still feel the influence today. Supreme constantly releases embellished leather jackets that pay homage to the style set by earlier forefathers of streetwear, while the British skateboard label Palace has referenced UK garage and American hip-hop culture by dropping officially licensed Avirex jackets several times since 2017. The oversized leather Balenciaga jacket that Kanye West wore recently closely resembles the military style popularized by Avirex. Ye also rapped about wearing Pele Pele on his Donda track Pure Soul, and wore a light blue Pele Pele in the Netflix documentary Genius that chronicles his time before he got on. Thanks to the Avirex relaunch, rappers like Lil Durk, Meek Mills, Lil Baby, and even Roddy Ricch are wearing new versions of their jackets. But can this spark a new trend and a reemergence of a classic hip-hop brand? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But what do you think? Were you a fan of Avirex back in the day? Will you be buying any of the new relaunched pieces? Hit us up in the comment section and let us know. Also, if you haven't, don't forget to hit the sub button and then the notification bell to be reminded whenever we drop a new video just like this one. But with that being said, I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com signing out. Until next time, peace.